Hello and welcome, Exiles, to the day number 4 update to the character. This one coming with some sizable quality of life upgrades while not really changing much in terms of gear costs. Mostly just a slight tree change as well as a support gem change that I think improved the character's quality of life and playstyle quite a bit. Now, what is the biggest change? It was mostly a tree change where we were over here spec'd for these recharge rate, or faster starter recharge rate nodes, and we were anointing this node and we weren't grabbing this wheel. Apparently, this node right here has a very high amount of faster start of recharge when not on full life, which combines with our low life node when proccing low life. So what we did is we respec'd these nodes over to here. We leveled a few times, grabbed a couple ES nodes, and we full spec'd these AoE nodes, and we swapped our anoint to this big recharge rate node here, which is actually one of the cheapest anoints available on the tree. It's one of the few good anoints for our build that doesn't cost any expensive oils at all, so I'm pretty happy about this change. Now, not only that, but I mentioned a big quality of life change to the build, which is our Blasphemy Aura. We're improving the AoE quite a bit, and one of the big improvements that I forgot was an option was Ritual Curse. This AoE does work with Blasphemy, and it is very noticeable. We went from having a Blasphemy that I want to say was like maybe this big-ish to one that's more like this big-ish, which essentially means our explosions start being a lot more consistent. Hopefully you can see it in the opening clip I showcased here of the explodes working that much more efficiently. And I have to say a large part of that was due to that gem swap. Technically, we also got a 6 link here. Right now, I swapped the support gems in to try Intense Agony and Chaos Mastery. We dropped Zenith, I believe, and Chaos Mastery was a +1 we added. I'm not sure this is our late game setup, but for right now, this seems like a good hybrid in support gems that are mostly not conditional. From my experience, Intense Agony feels pretty good, but I'd say before you swap to this, I would recommend having Quality on your Essence Drain. Quality might seem like it does nothing when you press Alt, but if you click on the damage over time, it adds 25% more debuff duration. It's 4 seconds, and then it goes to 5 total seconds, which means if you do Intense Agony, where you inflict it first on the boss, that dot will last a lot longer, especially considering we are now running a Blasphemy Temp Chains. And for those wondering, for the second curse on the planner, I had forgotten to update this node at the start of yesterday, but we fixed it. And this should be on the planner now that we have Whispers of Doom spec'd. That's how we have both Temp Chains and Despair on the boss. So yeah, that goes over the basic tree changes. And as for gear, we didn't really change anything. It's pretty much what we had yesterday. Real quick, I want to demonstrate improvement we've made to proccing low life, because I was stupid and I didn't know this was an easy way to do this. But specifically, I said you have to go to a separate zone, have an enemy chip you down to low life, and that's how you can then put on your ES gear and get back to full. Nope, you don't have to do anything that complicated. It's actually easier than that. Let's say we put on this helmet right here. This is still the helmet we use, Eldritch Battery, which takes all of our ES and puts it into mana, which means we have no ES, which means we can then have our life be changed. Eternal Life isn't stopping us from changing it. And all we need to do is have a channeled skill. I have Incinerate here with Life Tap attached to it, which means if I start casting this skill, I spend my life down. So I don't have to go to a zone. I don't have to change any areas. Right now, this is just a 2 link, so we don't have that much life spend per second. But that being said, you can add some extra support gems on it to make it cost more. So it's just a very quick spend your life down and get back to mapping. So that way, if you do die, the quality of life downtime of swapping to low life again is very short. Now, you should be getting to the point where it's not like, it doesn't feel, you shouldn't be dying very much at this point when you have a decent ES pool. We died a grand total of, I think, 2 times yesterday, and it was mainly just because I was lagging. Like, my character could not use its abilities. I'd get freezy frames, and then all the enemies would hit me, and then it would render that, oh, you just got hit a bunch of times, but you didn't get to play against it. Like, stuff like that, where it's just like, okay, basically I was AFK for 5 seconds inside of a bunch of monsters, and they killed me. It's frustrating, but that's how internet issues go sometimes. Now I want to showcase a Savannah, I guess we can do, and we'll have a T15 here with a bunch of random mods on it. But before I open this, I have been swapped over to controller, and I have to say, I was nervous about swapping to controller. I did play controller a lot last time at PvP, and I loved it. I was like, do I want to drop the efficiency of playing with mouse and keyboard? And I gotta say, absolutely 100%, I should have swapped sooner. Controller feels so freaking good to play. I want to say in maps, I feel twice as powerful just the difference in controller versus mouse and keyboard. That's not necessarily true per se, but at the same time, it is true in terms of how smooth the actual like gameplay feels going through stuff. It looks like we actually have like a full mod map. So hopefully we don't die and lose our T15 boss. But anyways, it's still the same old playstyle of Essence Drain Contagion, but now with those cast speed nodes and the greater AoE on our blasphemy, you can see our blasphemies affecting enemies from a lot farther away, which makes it way more consistent where it's exploding. Hopefully this demonstration between the starter footage and where I'm showing you now showcases that, holy crap, it's way more consistent. It's blowing up monsters. Like, you can see the explosions actually kind of chain around a little bit. You can actually see the effect, and that's because we got that bigger AoE, and now it's more consistently blowing up packs. And I gotta say, I was a non-believer in the explode nodes. I'm starting to be a full-on believer. Like, I would have used it even if I wasn't planning to go into the Indigon, if that makes sense. I would have used it anyways. I'm convinced now. It feels good. I was being a hater. I was thinking, you know what? It's not going to change your clear speed at all because you can get good clear speed without it anyways. But after playing it, I'm a full-on believer. I'll see if we can go ahead and figure out where this boss is at. Do want to showcase what our current single target looks like on the character. We are running a level 19 gem, and at level 20, we are level 90 on our character. We're level 88 right now. I walked right back to my portal. Let's say the boss is probably up this direction, maybe then. Went in a big circle. I was like talking and playing at the same time. I end up not fully realizing what I'm doing. But anyways, at level 90, we'll get the level 19 gem. And then eventually, if we're min-maxing, what you can do is you can corrupt the gem for +1 level. You don't need to do this you don't need to have a level 20 already spec'd. You can corrupt it at a lower level and then level it up to 20, and it will be a 21 gem because the +1 corruption is like a separate enchant. But, okay, I guess it's not down here, so we'll try down the other direction then. The thing is, though, you do have to corrupt it with it already being 6 links, so that's a bit of a downside there. Now, let's go ahead and corrupt this Essence. I've been running Essence. I don't know if it's actually the play, and it looks like that guy just broke out. So far, I don't think I've hit a greater Essence from corruption like once. I feel like I've done a lot of Val Orbs on Essences, and it seems pretty rare that the outcome is it upgrades the Essences to greater, so I'm not too sure how I feel about Essences right now. They haven't really been getting me much money, but I'm gonna keep trying them for a bit more and be a believer that they're gonna get better. I'm gonna continue to have hope. Okay, the boss gonna be up this way. Surely the boss is in this corner, right? That checkpoint means that's like a red one, so I think that usually means that's where the boss arena is, and it is. Cool. Hopefully. And this is where we start using our Sigil of Power. If you haven't seen the Sigil of Power, you get a bunch of extra mana spend and it gives you damage because of it. And that's now in the build. And it will pair nicely when we swap over to oh my word. What a poor showcase. What am I doing? Oh, that's embarrassing. Well, that was an example of me dying, which I swear does not happen very often, but apparently it happened for this. Can't enjoy the area after dying. Why doesn't it just delete the portal? I'm a little bit surprised it doesn't just delete the portal outright, but a little bit embarrassing in the showcase there. I feel like during that, I didn't... Let me check something right now. Convalescence, I feel like I didn't have access to, and I tried to use it multiple times throughout that map. I take some damage. I need to actually go to an area with higher damage. See if they patched Convalescence. I should have been able to Convalescent there. I feel like it was a while since I procced it. Maybe I procced it earlier in the boss on accident and didn't realize when I didn't need to. Oh, it still works the same way. I guess I just procced it on the boss earlier in the fight when I didn't need to, when I didn't have ES because I'm bad at the game. But normally, you want to save your convalescence for a situation where you get chipped down, and I just panicked and I didn't have it because I wasted it on the boss earlier when I didn't even get hit. So, yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, besides that poor showcase of my inability to play the game, hopefully you can see the explode and the quality of life of the character is really starting to pick up, and I'm pretty dang happy about it. Yeah, anyways, that's the update day number 4. Today on stream, we're going to try to get together mana regenerate gear and try to swap over Indigon, and we'll see how well it works. Hopefully we can up the DPS on the character pretty sizably. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching, Exiles. Take care and peace out. Have a good one.